Welcome to Tuesday's Tips from So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and I have a drawer that sits right by my sewing machine and my serger that has my go-to thread. And I love having the thread in the drawer. However, every time I go to open the drawer, that thread shifts all over in the bottom of the drawer. I need to find a way to prevent that shifting. The thread is Primo Soft from Filtech. So I will need to find something to hold them down so they don't slide in the drawer. So I'll need something to fit into this area. I don't have a lot of room going up. It just fits in the drawer, so I can't put anything thick on the bottom. I will need to glue something on some kind of a cardstock, and I'm going to use Bristol board. So whatever I glue down here is going to have to fit in this area to prevent these from sliding. And I have found the perfect thing. These decorative glass stones. You can get small ones and larger ones, and this is a larger one. And it fits quite well in the bottom. They're all not perfectly round, and some are bigger than others, but they're all pretty much the same size and somewhat of a circular shape. So I'm just going to need to make sure that they're going to fit. If one is too big, I won't use it. I've measured the bottom of my drawer and I've cut a piece of Bristol board or cardstock that size. So I have that bottom base to work on. The spools of thread will be able to fit in straight lines, or I can have them come a little bit off. If I take every other row and move it so it is in between the spools, I'm going to be able to slide those spools together and gain some space. So I will still be able to pick up each spool so every other row is going to match. Once I've established how I want to lay them out, I need to put them on a ruler or something to figure out any mat that I'm going to need. I'm going to follow the grid lines on my mat and lay out just a couple of rows, and because I've done it on a mat, I'm going to be able to use those measurements. As it turns out, every other row is going to be 3 inches apart, so I have 1 inch, 4 inches, 7 inches, 10 inches, 13, and so on. The second and every other row will fit in between. So it's going to be 2.5 inches, 5.5 inches, 8.5 inches, and continue. From here I can take my measurements on the sides. Once I know what my measurements are going to be, I can put these aside. I'm going to take this cardstock and mark little dots where I'm going to want to glue my little jewels. I'm going to use a yardstick and the markings on the mat. I'm just going to put a little piece of tape to hold the paper down so it doesn't shift on me. Then I'm going to start marking. All my little marks are done. I'm going to temporarily put some of the stones on those marks and then test and make sure that the thread is going to match up. Once I know that they're going to fit, I can take time and glue these stones on all of these marks. I'm going to use Fast Tack, which is a gem glue. It's permanent and it is clear. I want to double check my work. So I'm going to glue a couple of the stones where my marks are. And because I was being careful not to get glue on the cardboard, I will just make sure that all of those spools are going to fit. If they don't fit, you can move that stone while it's still damp. Because the stones are irregular shape, you might need to make a few adjustments. And I'm just going to keep going, testing all of those stones. And those stones are very easy to move while the glue is still wet. I'm going to continue to do the rows, testing as I go along. It's important to let the glue dry. Depending on the glue will depend on the time that this will need to sit. To transfer this to the bottom of the drawer, I'm going to take a large ruler and just slide it right on top. And that way I can carry it where it needs to go without it bending. and take that and just slide it right into the bottom of the drawer. And the bottom of the drawer looks nice because it has all of these stones. The weight of the stones is going to hold that paper down so I won't need to secure it. It's very thin, so I've added no extra height to it. So when the spools go on, I still will be able to open and close it. The bonus with putting this on this cardstock or the Bristol board is if I don't like this, it's very easy to change. I just pick up the cardboard and throw it away. I can put this drawer back in and load it up with my thread. Now when I open and close this drawer, it doesn't matter how hard I push it, the spools are going to stay put, all because of those little glass stones being glued onto the bottom. I keep my color chart here. Now my thread is organized and is kept clean. So a piece of cardboard and some pretty decorative stones has solved my problem of my thread moving all over. And these stones are very economical. Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.